2015 PGA show. Familiar booth in KBS, familiar person in Tim. And you have 2 new wedge shafts, but we want to talk a little bit about why you have more wedge shafts and technology and the products as well.
Okay. Well, what we've decided is the wedge category has been an afterthought in a lot of cases. So what we've been looking at is creating a special category for fitting for wedges. So we've gone to a couple new designs. In our product line currently, we have a KBS Wedge, and that we would consider more of a mid-launch, mid-spin shaft. Looking to help the fitter and the golfer have something more specific for their wedge, we've launched these 2 new wedges. One of them we call a 610, and the technology behind the 610 is a little bigger butt, which extends the stiffness down towards the tip a little bit more. So what we're seeing is a lower launch, higher spin shaft than anything else in our line. Better for the better player, better for tour players and things like that.
Now, when you say that, wedge shafts are already really short.
Yes.
Does it make it difficult to go to work with it and manipulate flex in different areas when they're that short already?
Well, there can be, but what we do is we make specific flexes. So we make a regular flex, we make a stiff flex, we make an extra stiff flex. So you don't have to really manipulate it from that aspect. So depending on the weight, you're going to get the flex that's right for you.
Gotcha. Now, the second wedge shaft you just came out with.
Yes, that one is we call a Hi-Rev 2.0, and that is for the average to higher handicapper that needs some help. A lot of those people play with a hard golf ball, and the golf ball doesn't like to spin, so we get a lot of advantages out of it by making the tip softer and making the launch higher and putting some spin on it to help them be able to play with it.
Do you find that most people that you're meeting with or that you have done fitting into or anything else, they play their wedges now as full swing clubs as well as just the short game stuff?
We don't see a lot of that. We see some of it, especially in gap wedges. That's where we would see predictability that happen. But typically when you get into the 56, 58, 60, maybe even over 60, it is a little bit different shaft, a little bit softer tip, and some different things to be able to give some action with the ball.
Now, one thing I've done differently than I guess the norm recently is I've played KBS tours throughout my whole set, all the way through the wedges.
Yep.
If I say, because I liked the original Hi-Rev wedge flex, wedge shafts, if I change the 2.0s, what's the difference I'm going to see in ball flight or spin between KBS Tour and this if I make the change in my wedges?
Well, the Hi-Rev was a high launch, high spin. We've just exaggerated that even more with the 2.0 to give it more differentiation. So you really have a differentiation in the 610, the KBS Tour wedge, and the Hi-Rev 2.0 wedge.
So you have some choices, and as always, the best way to find this out is through fitting.
Absolutely.
We want to hear from you guys when you get a chance to test them out. For THP TV, I'm Josh Babbitt.